Well, I'm live now, so it's telling me that it's going to look for my followers. I hope that there'll be someone on this live, but if not, it's all about me having a chat, sitting down, who knows, talking with me, myself, and my spirit, and that's okay. But I've noticed that for me, I've been going through a lot this week, and I noticed that my mind, and if you want to call it, my ego, which is always trying to find a title for itself through my feelings and my thoughts. And usually it's the negative ones. Your mind functions best in negative because I think negative has parameters. And positive feelings and thoughts are kind of your jump off point for you doing something great and magnificent and miraculous. And that usually doesn't have a ceiling and it doesn't have a floor. It just can go on and on and on. Infinite possibilities out of just one jump off point. But we as human beings, since human beings has been on this earth, has made this earth home or planet Earth their home. Let's put it this way. And we come into this earth school in these bodies that we're given with the souls that chose us. And we get to not only just learn, it's not only a platform for learning, but it's a platform for living. And our minds, because it has helped us survive so long, it has taken upon itself to be our creator. And usually it creates from unconsciousness or how the world has trained it to be, how the world has invited the thought patterns and the belief systems that we have into our psyche, into our brain, or not our brain, but our mind. And then our mind kind of files it away as our beliefs, whatever it is, whether it's good beliefs or what we consider bad beliefs, whether the beliefs are we're able to utilize those beliefs that we've had so long in our now moments. They might not be for our greater good. I'm finding out that a lot of my beliefs that are still trying to hold on or rearing up, especially in this last week, are things that are pushing my buttons. And the buttons are being pushed by other people who are probably seeing themselves in me. And that little inkling of whatever is vibrating in me, it's about to get set off. But I noticed that when that happened to me most recently, my soul kind of rose up to the occasion because I've asked it to be in every part of my life, not just the parts of my life that aren't working at that moment, but every part of my life. And when I felt like allowing my mind to take me to a moment where it has to be the one that has to be right, my soul said, no, calm down. Just listen if you can. And if not, I'll listen for you. And I just kind of said to myself, wow. But in that moment, I also said to my soul, there's something that I need to address in me that is trying to come forward and trying to move out of me. And it's that ability to want to tell everybody, hey, look at me, I'm right. But it's not the case. Spirituality is not being about right or wrong. And I'm learning that through my spiritual lessons here on my home world with my soul at the blackboard. Because if we're looking to our mind to teach us, our mind can only teach us what it's known forever, because that's comfortable. It doesn't want, my mind doesn't want me out of the comfort zone. It hasn't wanted me out of the comfort zone for a long time. I've been comfortable being somebody's employee. Not that it hasn't been good. It's been good. When it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's bad. But those are my feelings and my perception of it as my mind is giving it to me. And my mind is most comfortable there because it's got identity in it. It's somebody's employee. It's somebody's mother. It's somebody's wife and then ex-wife. It's somebody's, do you see what I mean? So for me, all these not little, I'm not going to say little, because everybody has hurdles that they have to jump over. And the hurdle, whether great or small, is in the perspective of the person jumping the hurdle. Not the person watching the hurdle being jumped and then having an opinion of it, but actually the person that is actually jumping the hurdle and sometimes not making it over the hurdle. And I've had a lot of hurdles to jump. I may not have had problems with drugs or problems being an alcoholic, but everyone has something that they're striving to, that they are striving to have different in their life, but they're just unconscious to how it works, because their unconsciousness is being conscious of how the world says it works. And then if it's not working for them, then they say, well, why is life shitting on me? Well, life is giving you exactly what you want. Life is looking to you to tell it what you want. And if you don't know you, if you don't know the deep you, if you don't know the authentic you, it's going to give you what you believe you want. It's going to give you what you believe you're told you want. And that starts way beyond growing up. You know, me as a teenager, I said, I can't wait till I'm 18. I can't wait till I'm 21. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. And then when all the life shit started happening, I started blaming that on other people, because those other people were in the life tandem while it was happening. So it must have been them. And this week gave me a recall of who I was then and how far I've come now and how far I have to go more in my now moments, not in my future, but in my now moment. So tomorrow I strive and want to be better than I was today. Even if today felt great, even if today feels like it could be the highest moment in my life, tomorrow is going to be better than today. But tomorrow is not, I'm not going to think about tomorrow now, because I'm going to do today. And when I actually said that out loud after I meditated, I kind of had that aha moment. I've just been learning. I've allowed my soul to help me choose the books and help me write my notes and help me teach others and help me inspire others and motivate others and edify not only just myself but others. And I actually got to just hear myself say that even if I have a great day today, which I will, it's my intention, I am going to be better tomorrow, because tomorrow's a new day to co-create. And I used to say, when I started this spiritual journey, when I was fully conscious and fully aware of it, I said two things. Shit is going to get better for me. And why couldn't I see this when I was 30? Or why couldn't I see this when I was much longer? I could have had such a better life, right? And my soul told me, you are where you are when you are. The things that you go through do grow you. Not to say you need to jump into some shit to grow you. No, don't go looking for shit. But If your life is being created from you being unconscious or not observing your mind, and that is trying to keep you safe. It's not trying to shit on you. It's just trying to keep you safe. It just was trying to keep me safe. And our mind, our ego is going to be with us all the time. But how much power you give it is up to you. I realize that now. How much power I give it is up to me. And the mind is always going to try to go back to what's comfortable. As you're shedding, your comfort zones, it's always going to find something, because from the time we were born, we've been given all these parameters by how the world views everything. Even how the world views what God is about, or consciousness is about. That's why we have so many religions. Everybody has a perception of it, and that's what they're basing it off of. And it's more, for me, it was just a lot of dogma. And I kept always asking, what's next? There's got to be more. Because even though my mind was comfortable with the dogma, it didn't feel comfortable to the inner me. And I knew somebody was calling me. I just didn't know who or what. Because I was always told that God is out there, up there. And I was always raised in a religion that told me that I was created and born from a sin. And I had to fix myself. And it was going to be a lifelong work. And the only way that I was going to be with God is if I fixed myself. God judged me, deemed me ready to be in heaven, or then if he, and that was the term then, he decided I wasn't, I was going to go to hell. Those were my perceptions and my beliefs and my parameters and fields that were handed down to me. But it wasn't handed down as if they were trying to be mean to me. It's just a belief that was handed down to me. So all these perceptions I had, all these beliefs I had that no longer started to work for me, made me just ask a deep question. And even this week I asked a deep question because one of my buttons was pushed and I didn't know why. I thought I had worked through that particular button. Because I'm willing, as a spirit of the consciousness of God manifested in human form, to listen. But for some reason, what was presented to me in the manner that it was presented to me felt uncomfortable and wrong. And my soul just told me, don't respond. Stop talking. And I listened. And then my soul led me to a live that I watched this morning, and my soul said, just listen. And I listened, and then my soul gave me a question to ask. So that not because I didn't already know the answer, but because it needed to put my mind in a place of understanding. I asked the question, and after I asked the question, and it was posed to this other person, the other person said, oh, you were right in just stopping, listening, and now just let it go. And this is how my soul is teaching me to be more of me authentically, because I thought that I had something that had a button in me pushed. And I thought it all wrong, because my soul was trying to say, it's you. My soul is saying, nothing's wrong with you. And my mind is saying, it's you. It's not the other person, but it's you. But it was the other person trying to see something in me that they needed to fix. And I got it. Sometimes it's just taking those moments and listening to your inner spirit, who knows where you came from, and that you're the glory of God manifesting in human form, having all these great experiences, and some of them aren't going to feel great because we live in duality. And duality brings things up. And sometimes it's about people who are also in your life that you have no control over. Right? Especially if you're called to serve. What? Are you called to serve people who only are awakening? Or are you called to serve people who have an idea that they might want to awaken? And those individuals are seeing things just a little bit differently. Their perception is maybe just a little, kind of like out of focus or whatever. But you're called to serve. I know I'm called to serve, and I'm not called to serve somebody who's already truly 100% awakened. I could be, because everybody has something in their life that they need to be fine-tuned. True. But there's also people who are being called, not understanding their calling, and they're resisting it. And when they're resisting it and you're in their presence, their mind is going to say, blame her or blame him. And my soul is saying, it's not you, but we're going to let your mind know it. So I'm just sitting here with my coffee going, what a week. And my soul is saying, what an accomplishment. It's always an accomplishment when you work through something. When you have that inner spirit or soul in you, you could call it divine oneness. Many people just cut straight to the chase, and they say, and I believe it 100%, that God is manifesting in us. And I always believe that God is this humongous piece of pie, and every slice that they have sliced off and said, here's a part of me. You can call it soul, you can call it spirit, you can call it Holy Spirit, but it's a part of me that is expanding and expressing through you, in you, and as you. And I get to feel you, Sandra, in everything you do. I get to feel all over 8 billion or 7 billion people, but I think it's more. And I feel you all at once. I feel you, and you're yet individuals, and you're yet wholeness. So while I'm working through something, there is somebody else that's coming in to that vibration that I'm working through, that's working through it too. And I get to tell you, here's how I work through it. I just listened to my inner being, my soul, who told me, okay, stop talking over this person. Stop trying to prove a point. And just listen. And when that person didn't want to listen and kept yelling, then something else happened, so that person would not be in the presence anymore. But I took it personally. That's my mind or my ego saying, okay, I've got something that we're going to attach on it. You're hurt. I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. That's another identity. And my soul said, we're not going to do that. I meditated. I said that, my soul said, have a good night, sleep well. I said, I'm sleeping well. And I woke up to the best live from someone else. And my soul knew that that live was going to put everything in perspective. See, so God talks to us all different kinds of ways. And God is allowing giving us all that allowing moment to wake up to whatever our calling is. Some of our callings aren't to serve humanity as an inspirational speaker or a motivational speaker or an educator or even an edifier. Some people are meant to be nurses and doctors and lawyers and to help work for the public, to work in their craft, to be craftsmen and craftswomen, to be entertainers and theologians, and to be ministers and all these different ways, because everyone is waking up within different parameters. And then they have to seek. It's not just, awakening isn't easy. And those who tell you it is, maybe it was for them. But if it isn't easy for you, do not fret yourself. Do not think yourself not worthy to be part of this awakening, because you are. It's not an easy process, especially when your awakening is taking you out of your comfort zone, is taking you away from all the parameters of stories that have been told for you and about you that are now changing because they don't serve your greater good anymore. I had to work, but maybe somebody else won't have to work as hard because they were always creative, and now they're just awake at it, and they're creating from a conscious creation. But me, I had to go from just being analytical and being working through, okay, where's my next meal coming from, where's my money coming from, where I have kids and blah blah blah, and I have this and I have that, and I have to work, and I have to do a 40-hour work weekend, then I have to do overtime to make extra money, and I did that for 40 years. And at some point in time, that what worked out for my greater good, because I had some very happy, very prestigious moments. But when it was no longer for my greater good, and I started to ask that question that I've always asked ever since I was young, what now? What more? What don't I see? What's next? Just asking those questions. For me, I didn't know it was gonna open, as they say, the Pandora box, right? The Pandora box of goodness, the Pandora box of greatness, the Pandora box of desires and wants and needs being met at all times. I just did not know. So when I started to tune into and tap into myself this week, it was like, holy shit. It wasn't me, but I still am perfectly imperfect. The perfect part is the flow of, or the emergence of God through me, flowing through, in, and as me every day. And the imperfect part is the ability to be in an allowing moment, to allow myself to be taught from the soul, from the seat of my soul. And being and knowing that my soul can use anyone to teach me. Because my soul is always tuned into every vibration, everywhere, knowing where I need to be in and who I need to be in the presence of, and who needs to be in the presence of me. Because I know that my purpose and intent and this earth school is to serve. But how I serve, my soul shows me every day. So I'm going to take that as a leave off point to let you know that when you're awakening from this unconsciousness, if it seems hard, do not give up. You are worth every moment of your time into you, into knowing who you are, into going deep into the authentic self. The authentic self knows that it comes from the consciousness of God, and knows that the consciousness of God is tethered to you all the time, but is not judging you. because that would mean that God, or the consciousness of God, or source, is judging self, and source does not judge self. Source, the consciousness of God, and God did not make any mistakes with you, no matter how you were born. Whether you were born blind, whether you were born with only 2 arms or only 2 legs, or whether you were born without hearing, whether you were born what you believe is perfectly perfect, blonde hair, blue eyes, or brown hair, brown eyes, whatever the case, you're born perfectly imperfect. The imperfect part is only the fact that you've got to learn everything that consciousness is and combine them. You are soul, you are mind, and you are body, you are triune, and you come from the consciousness of God. And you, as God is emerging through you, he, she, it, they are bringing what we call heaven, or the consciousness of God, into duality. And that's work. But it's happy work. The more you find out who you are and where you came from, and that you are powerful creators within this beautiful body, the more that you can know what you want, how you want it, where you want it, who you want to be with, when you want to be with them, and if you want to be with them as they are. That's the way the law of attraction really truly works for you. It works for you instead of your mind telling you you work for it. Think about that one. My soul just gave me that, and it sounds intriguing. The law of attraction and all the laws that God has created in this universe are tools that work for you. And right now, if you're unconscious to you, not knowing what your mind is telling the universe that you really need, you are working for your mind. And you're going to get what you get. I got what I got. When I was sad, my mind said, I'm sad. The universe said, okay, I'll give her more things to be sad about. I'm happy. Okay, I'll give her more things to be happy about. But my sadness and my happiness was contingent on other things. Not the deep down me. My soul wants to keep talking. But I do have to go somewhere. It is my doggy's time to have some me time. And he gets his nails done. He gets his bath. He gets to shake it all off and say, woo, I feel good. So I'm going to tune in and tap into that moment. But I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it works for you. I hope you guys have a great moment in time to be with yourself. So I'm going to end this live. Take care.